One of the key challenges that I faced when I started developing grant proposals was to come up with a budget. And that's why today I felt it was good to bring up this so that I can help others not to face similar challenges that I did. I have two samples of budgets. I can start with any. And basically, every grant application that you make, there must be set guidelines on what you need to do when it comes to budgeting, what you can do, and what you cannot do. So I'm assuming you have been given the guidelines. It will differ from one funder to the next. So this is a typical budget that I had developed earlier on and I'd won the grant and I worked with it. I had the principal investigator, I had the co-principal investigator, I had the research associate, and I had 4 field assistants to assist me with the work. Now, that would be covered under the personnel salary. And these payments will differ. These are not standard amounts. It will depend on how many days you are working. Some funders will tell you you cannot pay yourself more than this amount in a given day. Others will leave it open depending with your qualifications and skills levels. But the key thing is you need to capture the personnel salaries, all allowances, depending on how many researchers we have. Others will allow you to do what we call the per diem. You pay yourself an allowance every day, pay for your meals, for your traveling expenses. You pay out the research assistants who are assisting you to collect the data. So these are just general guidelines. They are not strict because they will differ from one organization to the other. So I wouldn't want you to take them word for word and work with them because that will not apply in your case. It's good to look at the general outline. How much to pay will differ from one country to the other based on the cost of living. Sometimes the funders will tell you what you cannot and what you can. Yes, some will even allow you to purchase a software that you can use to do your data analysis. Others will not. So these are some of the items one can buy to help them in their data acquisition. Internet, communication, research permits, institutional review board, and so on and so forth. Data cleaning, data entry, data management, data analysis. Sometimes you give an honoraria to the people you are going to talk to interview your respondents. You need to facilitate their movement from their houses to come. Maybe they'll spend a day there if you are doing it in a common place. So you need to think about them. If you are visiting them in the household, maybe that is different so that they can be willing to take their time to listen to your questions and be able to respond to them. Yes, you might also be required to disseminate your findings through workshops. You need to capture that. Maybe through publications, journals, policy brief, and also always don't exceed the budget that have been set for you. Unless if you've talked to the funders and your circumstances are very different, then that's okay. But do not over budget from the funds we have. So these are some of the many things that you can capture. Traveling, accommodation, meals, communication, stationery, allowance, per diem, and even your salaries, softwares, data analysis. Some would come even at the beginning here and include another column for the person who will do data analysis if it's not any among the research team there. Maybe you want somebody else to come in specifically for data analysis. But definitely you have to involve them in the sense that they need to know what you're doing so that when they do the analysis, it will conform to what you are basically doing in your research. So this is a general overview of one of the budgets. This is more comprehensive. I have a shorter one. This just shows the salary for the PI 6 months. They were paying themselves $200 per day. collaborator, researcher, another researcher, mobile phone and data, stationery and printing costs, institution review board, research permit, travel costs and subsistence allowance, and focus group discussions. Then you have the total given there. So my advice would be sit down, ask yourself what you need to do. How many people are you going to collect data from? How many people do you need as research assistants to help you in data collection? Then have an estimate of their daily allowance, maybe their traveling costs. How many researchers will be in the field? How many days are they going to spend there? How much are they paying themselves per day? What is the accommodation per day? What is the meals per day? What is per diem that they'll be getting every day that they'll be out there? And then look at an average amount of time that you're going to spend in your project. You need to have an estimate. You need to have an idea of what you're basically going to do out there, because this is your research. You need to have an idea. But when you come up with a budget, you can itemize all the things that you're likely to be doing. Things like getting a permit, printing the questionnaires, developing the questionnaires. Are you going to use a software to collect data, or you do the manual questionnaire? So you need to capture all this, so that if you're going to have a software for data management, you need to keep in mind that you might need some license to be able to have that database. So all this cumulatively now will help you to give an estimate. But as I said, do not exceed the limit of the budget that the funder has given you. That is a big no, no in your grant application. So next time you want to write a grant, you're not too sure where to start, these two can give you an idea. This one, which I'm going to scroll down, this is one. And the second one, this one. So when you use these two, I'm sure you'll not be in darkness. Where I started, I didn't want you to start from there. So please use them, customize them to your needs. Do not copy and paste. And I'm sure all the best in your grants application.